Make sure your sound is on. And this is for adults only. There is outrage at a new female libido booster that some are afraid works too well, that may turn normal, everyday women around the world into sex-crazed nymphomaniacs. What is this female sex drive accelerator? And why are long married women suddenly thrilling their husbands with panties hanging from the ceiling fan sex? The pharmaceutical companies are betting billions of dollars that they will come up with a pill that restores your wife's libido. So I have to warn you, we might be forced to take this video down because when you watch it, you're getting in on a secret that Big Pharma does not want you to know. Because they want you to pay them every time you have sex with your wife. What is this secret sex drive accelerator that's making wives horny again? Remarkably, it's not a pill. Female Viagra hasn't been invented yet, and it may never come to market for one simple reason. Your woman's desire for you is generated from her mind, not her body. And no pill can make her want to have sex with you compared to what I'm about to reveal. Hi, I'm Sloan Fox, and I can't wait to tell you about a rejection-proof system that unleashes an unstoppable desire for sex again in most wives, which has her think it's her idea to make love to you as soon as tonight. It all started in San Francisco, California. A husband and wife team of experts on marital relations discovered a rejection-free system that unleashes an unstoppable desire for sex again in most wives, even after raising kids, going through menopause, or putting on a few pounds over the years. Right before their very eyes, husbands have been seeing their wives respond immediately.
Holy shit. I about fell over last night. I have revived her drive for 3 days, and bam, sex like we have not had in 2 years.
Using the solution causes husbands married as long as 10, 20, even 30 years to start getting the best sex of their lives.
I had surgery on my prostate August the 10th and purchased Revive Her Drive September the 26th. I had sex with my wife for 44 years on October 26th, 28th, and 29th, after zero sex of any kind since August 8th.
And there are thousands more happy endings just like these. Stay with me and I'll share with you a series of lies and myths that most people believe that are thwarting you from having an insanely passionate sex life. This married team of sex experts has been showing men how to get 180-degree turnarounds in sex lives these husbands simply assumed were withering away. But unlike a pill your wife has to take to get horny, this foolproof system has all the benefits with none of the gotchas. It puts your sex life back in your control in a way that makes your woman eternally grateful. So as you watch this video, you'll see how subtly yet powerfully this system works. Now, you may be thinking, like many men, that it's too late or you're too old to regain the passion in your relationship, or that your partner won't respond to it. Or maybe you think it's impossible to have the kind of passionate sexual relationship with your partner that you desire. But I promise that if you're open to it, what I'm about to show you will ramp her arousal like a horny teenager, whether she's 35 or 65. This radical, new, rejection-proof method of turning your wife's libido back on triggers intense, gut-level sexual desire and gets her squirming in her panties, wanting you to take her, to make her come over and over as you kiss her deeply, going down on her until she's thrashing her quivering legs, juicy and wet and ready for you to plunge her depths. Or maybe she'll be a quintessential English rose, quiet, caring, cuddly and warm.
I bought Revive Her Drive RHD out of total desperation. My wife is a quintessential English rose, whose idea of sex is, it doesn't happen. Nice people suffer it only to produce a child and then put it away. She's never orgasmed and has enough phobias to send a doctor mental. She feels no sexual pleasure, full stop. Our sex life was heading nowhere fast, so I started applying for these RHD ideas, probably a bit haphazardly, and to my complete surprise, after 2 months my wife threw out a pile of her phobias in one go and opened right up. I couldn't believe it. I would never have seen it coming. It was such a shock. So what I'd been doing had worked, but I still am not sure exactly how. I'll say one thing, it was not therapy. She's still resistant to that. We're making progress, and I cannot help but swear by Susan's tremendous works. I hope my story helps you a little. Somewhere with the pressure off and her being able to be closer and more cuddly, as she calls it, she blossomed, and I can now see there really is passion within her to come out. And everyone's passion is different. She'll always be quiet, caring, cuddly and warm, not some kind of screaming porn queen. And I shall value whatever kind of hot sexual passion she will bring. I know it's in her, and when she brings it along, I know it will be from her heart. I'm still amazed over Susan and Tim's hard work on this, and they support us, their customers, with a warmth and personal attention. I do wish you all the best and good luck, and I hope things work out for you.
Put Revive or Drive to the test, even if you haven't seen her naked for years. This system simply will work on your wife. Or you can send an email to support@personallifemedia.com and get every penny back. Every day, Susan gets emails from men pouring their hearts out with the most intimate details of their lives. A guy will go to his wife for affection, but she only looks at it as, "You're trying to get sex from me." Susan knows that as a man, you too want tenderness and warmth, not just sex. With her rejection-free solution, you need never be turned down for sex again. Besides, you don't need a pill for what you can do yourself on your own time frame. Why miss the joy of knowing you turned your lady back on yourself? This is a quote from the New York Times that says, "Viagra meddles with the arteries. It causes physical shifts that allow the penis to rise. A female desire drug would be something else. It would adjust the primal and executive regions of the brain. It would reach into the psyche." In this system, Susan lays out a simple map for you to follow that reaches into her psyche and gets you more sex, instead of risking rejection and pushing her further away by guessing. In fact, during the past few years, thousands and thousands of husbands, a lot like you, have used this exact system that seemingly like magic gets your wife pawing you like a lovesick teenager parked on Makeout Hill. Keep watching, and I'll share with you secrets about a woman's hormones you can use to escalate her arousal. But first, I need to ask you a question that might make you a tad uncomfortable. It's helpful to answer this honestly to yourself, to make sure your sex life with your wife can be rekindled to the we can't keep our hands off each other kind of lust that even your buddies will notice, and their wives definitely will, which leaves a permanent shit-eating grin on your face. Ready? When was the last time your wife met you at the door in slutty heels and naughty lingerie, dragged you into the bedroom, and rode you until she was spent? If you can't remember the last time she was so agitated from lust she had to have you right then and there, I ask you, when you agreed to monogamy, did you agree to enforced celibacy too? Is the sad state of your sex life ruining your marriage? When was the last time you clicked off her TV show and lifted your wife up off the couch and threw her down on the bed and gave her the pounding of her life? A few weeks? A few months? Ooh, maybe even a few years? What guys want is a way to obliterate all the reasons in her mind that hold her back from wanting you inside her, and replace those beliefs with a deep craving for you to give her multiple orgasms. This method treats you to a number of incredibly valuable favors, including moving her from numb to electrified. Stealth romance strategies that disarm a wife's rejection mechanisms. And a clever and completely undetectable way of feeding sexual thoughts into your wife's mind. Tricks of the tongue even a man of few words can use to drench her panties, even out in public. A simple technique that causes any woman to feel such high levels of arousal, she will beg you to make love to her again, and again, and again. A psychological strategy that makes your wife chase you, woo, and work hard to get your permission and attention. Even happily lick and suckle your manhood. 100% rejection-proof skills that get her to eagerly sit in your lap naked and French kiss you while you stroke her body, or any other fantasy you dream up. In addition to the subtle techniques you'll be using, you also get a tiny little ebook called Relationship Values that will finally help you understand her like never before. Susan will show you how easy it is to know this magical information about your woman. Because when you know your lady's relationship values, she will feel like you get her, perhaps for the first time ever. Chances are, if you're watching this video right now, then it's been too long since you saw proof that she wants you. And far too much time has passed since she even initiated sex at all. When your own spouse doesn't want you or submits to letting you climb on top of her just to get you off her back, that's the cruelest cut of all. Now, picture the moment when your wife starts pursuing you, offering herself willingly to you, with a hunger that builds until you're going further sexually than you ever imagined before. Michael wrote this to us recently. Hannah just climbed off of me after about an hour-long session. I can barely stand, and all I can see is stars. So I think a sincere thank you, Susan and Tim, is in order. Coming up, I have proof that your woman likely wants more sex from you. Now, you may be like the millions of men still enraged at having to do all the work. I really get that. Honey, do this. Honey, do that. But wait! Who is doing you? And groveling for mercy sex doesn't count. Sure, once you figure out how to help her leave the world behind and just enjoy herself, sex can be great. But every time you want sex, you try to figure out what will get her turned on, and 75% of the time you guess wrong. So you suck it up and relieve yourself instead, because if you get rejected one more time, you'll be tempted to actually click on one of those "bang horny housewives in the name of your town" ads on porn. And who can blame a guy for being grumpy, much less furious? Even guys who are successful in every other part of their lives shut down when they're perpetually horny and confused by their wife's moods.
I just wanted to tell you that in the few short days I've been using your program, I found it extremely helpful and powerful. And for me, your product is a safe way to repair our relationship.
If you can relate to any of this, then you must click the button now, and within minutes, you'll have instant access to this totally discreet online website with everything you need to recover from your sexual coma and revive her drive. You are also invited to keep watching this video, because I'm about to share with you how an unusual breakthrough in the science of sexual attraction is giving regular husbands worldwide the power to bypass their wife's rejection mechanisms and subtly recreate strong feelings of lust, desire, and attraction directly into her unconscious mind, causing her libido to get cranked up again like those first steamy nights when you explored every inch of her body and still got up for work on time with a bounce in your step. and a feeling that all is right with the world. Remember those sweet times when she gave herself completely to you? Remember how you felt your blood surge through your veins? You can remove this wedge that's grown between you. You can bypass her rejection mechanisms. You can whip her up into a lusty frenzy. She will be impatiently waiting for you to get home from work to service her. Lying on your bed in sexy lingerie and ridiculously high heels. Now that is going to make your life force pop again.
After 25 years of marriage, my wife and I really needed some revival in our intimacy. A lot of water has gone under the bridge, and your program is starting to show signs of putting some heat back into that water.
It doesn't matter how long a dry spell you've had, how many kids are running around the house. Even if she thinks her libido has dried up, or you're secretly contemplating divorce. Because when you use this on your wife, her panties get wet. And she starts coming on to you. Consider this. What if you could have the best sex of your life as often as you wanted with the woman you love, regardless of how she feels about having sex with you this very moment? I completely understand that you're skeptical. The thousands of guys around the globe that thought this sounded too good to be true too, but they took the leap and followed the easy Revive Her Drive system, are now chuckling to themselves because now their wives are coming on to them. And let's face it, if you and your wife have become glorified roommates, then you want to click the button below now. In fact, as long as you follow the easy steps, your wife will gladly want to have sex with you whenever you want. She will spontaneously want sex. She will want to try new sex positions in new places. Woo! You will satisfy her like never before. I'll give you the magic keys that make her crave you inside her. She will want you to fill her up, to kiss her deeply, to make her a moaning, purring, pillowy animal writhing under your hands, to spin her around and do her 6 ways from Sunday. What I'm talking about here is getting the woman you married, your best friend, and life partner to want you to make her scream, "Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes!" while you're giving it to her like the big stud that you are. Yes, ecstatic lovemaking where you, the two of you, become one, will swoon into sweaty, moaning, passionate suckfests as soon as tonight if you follow the 4 easy steps I'm about to show you. This simple plan prevents your sex life from vanishing as you watch in horror, helpless because whatever you try isn't working. If you're just now raising kids, use this system to keep your sex life from evaporating in a haze of diapers, little league, and homework, so you can't even remember what she feels like in the dark. If you're a couple for whom the sex has gotten boring, but you still have some spark, this system will turn her into a saucy little vixen for you again, Daddy. Watching this video can mean the difference between a lifetime of great sex that keeps getting better and more intimate, or the kind of boredom and frustration from sexual rejection by your woman that can be the most damning part of a man's life. But before you can appreciate how logical the 4 steps are, you absolutely must hear about a few lies and myths that may be stopping you two from having what is your natural human right to intercourse well into your golden years. A series of lies and myths that most people, including me, believed for years. Until Susan and Tim set me straight. The first is the lie that your wife just isn't into sex anymore, and that her sexual desires diminish over time, and that a non-existent sex life is just part of being married. Well, let me crush that right now, as it's 100% not true. As she gets older, her sex drive gets stronger. Her testosterone ratio increases as her estrogen drops, making her hornier. Dr. Helen Fisher says, in a woman's middle 40s, biological changes cause the ovaries to pump out less estrogen, unmasking higher levels of testosterone. In fact, her libido is stronger than even she thinks. Your wife is a sexual spark plug waiting in quiet desperation for you to take control and lead her to a level of orgasmic ecstasy that makes her see you as her own personal sex guru. Think of it like this. As your wife gets older, she changes. In a sense, her sexual appetite is like a series of locks that change over time. You just need to know which key to use when. Dr. Pepper Schwartz, a professor of sociology at the University of Washington, said, "Sexual prime is a total myth. There is no physiological peak. The whole notion is an artifact of the time commonly believed by most." And according to Dr. Mark Goldstein of Cornell, hormones don't decide when you hit your sexual apex. People aren't soda bottles that reach a point of maximum pressure and pop. Your wife's sexual peak has more to do with your attitude towards sex and level of experience. Did you catch that? I said, your wife's desire has more to do with your positive attitude than hers. As the man, you are the sexual leader. As the torchbearer of your marital relations, you make it okay for her. You give her the permission to be sexy, naughty, even a little slutty for you. This is where the rubber meets the road. Do you want to inspire your woman to eagerly want more sex more often with you? If she's not begging you for sex at least 2 to 3 times a week, it is within your control as her husband to turn your sex life around. It's not that she won't do it. She's just not biologically programmed to initiate lovemaking. She's the feminine receiver, not the masculine leader. So, should you accept it, this is your obligation, your responsibility as her man to lead her to her sexual potential. So the big truth is that you need to take the right attitude towards sex in order to get the best out of your relationship. If you've been grumpy, withdrawn, if you've stopped even trying to revive her sex drive because you think there's something wrong with her, or you believe she won't let you, or you were suckered by these lies, no one can blame you for believing what most other people do. But now that you know the truth, here is the latest update according to the most extensive survey of romantic relationships ever. Wait for this. Most men want more sex. Yeah, okay, you're not alone. Even if your buddies act like they're getting some, they aren't getting enough either. Twice as many men as women feel they're not getting enough sex. Did you get that? Only 1/3 of all men think the amount of sex they get is just right, and only slightly half of women are fully satisfied with the frequency of their sex lives. Only slightly half of women are fully satisfied with the frequency of their sex lives. Even the numbers are in your favor that your woman wants more sex than she's getting too. She just wants a certain kind of sex from you. The other wives and girlfriends whose stories you'll hear today are living proof that it's not only possible to have a 180-degree change in appetite, it's possible to turn her wifely duties into her favorite job. Ha-ha! Click the button now if you're ready to have the best sex of your life as often as you want with the woman you married. If you've been denied, rejected, shoved away 9 times out of 10, it's completely reasonable for you to be dubious. But I also believe that you can rise to a challenge. Monogamous sex gets boring for everybody at some point. You are not alone, my friend. And because scientists have proven that women biologically need more sexual variety than men, what if she's just more bored than you? This system will get her thinking, dreaming, and lusting for sex again like magic. Best of all, Reviver Drive will inspire you to become lion-hearted for the woman you married. The information inside Reviver Drive will replace any anger, upset, even depression you have now with a fearless attitude. You can avoid going down as an untouched husband who shrivels up and dies, a sad and frustrated man. Keep watching, and I'll show you how to not only get her back to how she used to be when you first met, I'll show you how to mature her sexually so she's uninhibited and adventurous. What the 4 elements of revival do is affect the primal wiring deep in her genes to bring out her innate human sexuality, to bring out the animal in her. Its power is derived from cutting-edge neuroscientific discoveries about the endocrine system, that's hormones, combined with the latest developments in the field of sexual psychology and unconscious communication. And while this breakthrough is deeply rooted in science, it's not a bunch of intellectual theory. It's a set of step-by-step, easy-to-use strategies that will spice up your whole life. Plus, you can turn her back on in the time frame that works for your lifestyle, as quickly or slow and easy as you want. David Shade has endorsed Revive Her Drive. He says, become the man that allows your wife to become all woman for you. As a matter of fact, Tim and Susan encourage you to simply listen to the steps for 10 minutes every day or so by yourself without involving your wife in the plan. So keep this our little secret to make it a truly transformational experience for her. When women are tapped into their divine sexuality, you empower their whole way of being. But if you're playing a game of chicken, waiting for her to initiate sex to prove she really desires you, whew, settle in, buddy. You have a long wait, especially if she's feeling disconnected from you intimately. It's not in a woman's nature to pull toward you. Her natural response is to pull away, especially if she feels like she never satisfies you sexually or is dissatisfied herself. She gives up. Carlos Zuma endorses Revive Her Drive too. He says, if you can't talk to her about sex, if she has a fit or stonewalls you, the stealth turnaround tricks bypass the barriers and get you back in the sack. It's you, friend, that must lead her back to being sexual with you in a way that feels to her like romance instead of service. To get more affection, touch, even sexual abandon, you must pull her closer to you in a way that doesn't feel needy for sex. Starting tonight, you can begin magnetically attracting her back to you, to the point where she will even try naughty new positions you've only fantasized about. The famous Dr. Patty Taylor of Expand Her Orgasm Tonight and Seduce Her Tonight endorses Revive Her Drive. Your win rate is about to go through the roof. Discover how to make her offers for encounters that are so subtle she can easily respond with a resounding yes. You can click the button now and start having okay, then good, then great, then off the freaking hook sex. The 4 elements of revival put you in control. Think of it like this. It's just the same as if you book a romantic getaway to surprise her, but this solution is a sure thing, and it's a lot less expensive than a weekend at a bed and breakfast, 3 meals a day, souvenirs, gasoline, and you still don't have the guarantee of getting hot sex. If you have helplessly watched your princess sexually shut down, feeling powerless, not knowing the right corrective measures to take this on as your project. Don't expect her to do anything. Just let her be responsive to your actions. When she feels confident that you're taking charge, she can let go, allowing you to lead her back to the kind of intimate, passionate, sex-filled relationship even she truly desires deep down inside. And here's another major league tip on how you're going to reestablish frequent physical intimacy with your woman. At this very moment, your marriage is being dulled by your inability to generate heat together. Once you press the button below, you'll have access to the secrets that will make your physical intimacy so intense, she'll cry tears of joy afterward. This system has been tested and proven to work on thousands of couples, even devout church ladies and post-menopausal grandmas. Keep watching and you'll find out what to do if your partner's low desire is keeping you from enjoying sexual novelty and variety. Revive Her Drive is a discreet 4-step program you access online in complete privacy. Nothing is mailed to you. No one will know you are learning the secrets to help your wife feel wet and trembling with lust, praying you will take her by the hand or hair and make her your sexy little slut. Once an ice-cold housewife married for over 15 years, Tim used these methods to transform his wife into an absolute sensual goddess. Experiencing the type of insanely hot, passionate love life with her husband far beyond what they had, even in their 20s. Having the kind of heat that most married couples dream of. Yet no matter how many men Susan teaches his methods to, their wives are still unable to tell when these methods are in action. You see, it's impossible. If you were to watch a husband using one of the Revive Her Drive stealth seduction techniques on his wife, you would have no idea anything but romance was happening. You'd simply see a sweet husband interacting with his wife. But what's really happening in the undercurrent is that he's using a series of understated arousal-building tactics. And that's the beauty of Revive Her Drive, the completely under-the-radar nature in which it occurs. Absolutely no one will know you are using it, especially your wife. In fact, one of the most common things you'll hear from wives is, "I'm not sure why I fell madly in love with my husband all over again, but it just happened." And that's exactly how Susan and her happy students like it. You are creating the conditions your wife needs to fall back in lust with you, and you get to give her what she really wants. Uninhibited, passionate, sexual adventures with you. As a man, she can't keep her hands off. A newfound appreciation for her own body and her innate sexuality. An ease around having sex that just makes it all fun and frisky. Your wife will be happy you did this for her because you'll finally know what's going on in her mind. Even Sherry Winston endorses Revive Her Drive. She says this is the shortcut to all the great sex you can handle. Until now, if you wanted to learn the secret science behind Revive Her Drive, you could go out and read a pile of books on passionate marriage, sexual intimacy, even sexless marriage advice, and spend thousands of dollars and hours of your life going to sex therapists and sex workshops. Or you could take the fast, easy, fun option. Click the button now to know everything about how to get your woman to want you so badly she'll have to clamp her hand over her mouth to stifle her moans of desire. No guesswork at all. Just the raw information and simple stealth techniques it takes to watch her sexuality bloom again like a petal pink rose, no matter how long it's been since she last blossomed. Her body is an instrument that can feel your efforts and respond to you. Her body can't deny her desire. So you won't even have to talk about it with her. Just do what is inside Revive Her Drive and reap the passionate rewards. Remember, she's not doing this to you. Her dwindling libido was done to her by her own neurochemistry, her biology, which you now have the ability to triumph over. After you've finished reviewing the program from the comfort of your own home, you're set. Nothing to practice, no hard work. Just an old-fashioned Tarzan chest beating when you get up off the bed to pee as she lays there in a puddle of bliss. Ha ha ha, I love it. You'll be the man to help her trust and open up to her deepest sexual desires, perhaps for the first time in her life.
One concept stood out above all others. Helping my woman trust and open up her deepest sexual desires is a gift I give to her. That she wants this but can't really do it herself.
The Revive or Drive techniques will be hardwired into you, and you'll be ready to begin using it on your wife to trigger uncontrollable attraction, lust, and desire anytime you want, without ever being called out for doing something weird, and without you ever being rejected. When you simply put this to work, you'll see how powerful the 4 elements of revival are for yourself. Use it when you want doggy style. Ruff! Use it when you want sex on the dining room table. Use it when you want a quickie at lunch. When you use Revive Her Drive to communicate directly with your wife's libido and pump up her love chemicals, the more sex you have, the more sex she'll want. She wants to surrender to romance, passion, love. Or else why is the woman's romance novel business even bigger than the porn industry? Regardless of anything that's happened before, even if she's been checked out for years, even if talking to her about sex is impossible, and you can do this tonight. Stay with me to the end so I can share with you why sexual conflict in marriage is actually a good thing. You're okay right where you are. I cannot stress how powerful this system really is, or how much it will improve your marriage relations. It works even if she's never had an orgasm. She thinks menopause has killed her sex drive. She feels too fat, too tired, too stressed. The only situations Susan can improve are if you've never had sex or if your lady is in emotional or physical pain. If so, please escort your lady to a doctor immediately. For any other reasons she resists, when you use Revive Her Drive, it's a whole new baller's game. And you have the unfair advantage. No more rejection and no more nights managing your own personal release. Just raw, erotic attraction. Anytime you want, but only if you decide for yourself that you're ready to spice up your marriage. What can you expect to have happen to you after you have Revive Her Drive under your belt? Well, here's what happened to just a few of the men who stopped living like monks, praying their wives would want sex, and listened to the little voice inside them that said, "Do it." Lester wrote, "Passionate, pleasurable, wild, screaming orgasms knows no age. Love, gratitude, joy, and abundance." Thank you, Lester. Here's what else you'll discover. How to be both her bad boy lover and the devoted partner who keeps her safe, so she can totally surrender to her primal desires with you. How to train her sexually in total stealth mode to become a dirty little slut for you behind closed doors, while respecting herself more than ever afterward. Foreplay touch techniques that make her so juicy and engorged, she won't want her vibrator, she'll want your member all the time. Erotic play dates and romantic dirty talk selections that give her the variety she craves to become more uninhibited. A series of female positive escalation skills that gets her face blushing and her feeling wet between her legs. From her dirty thoughts about what you did to her last night, you dirty dog. How to have a spiritual connection with your wife to achieve sublime trance states of sexual arousal like the romance novels she adores. The roadmap to lead her to a level of lifelong passion with intimacy that just keeps getting better, so you can lose yourselves in oneness and rapture. And so much more. Best of all, you get a short checklist to follow so you know what to do next and in what order. If you're still watching this video right now, then you're beginning to realize how powerful Revive Her Drive might be and what it could do for you. And you're probably wondering a few things like, how much does it cost? Is it guaranteed to work for me? And how do I get access to the information? I'll answer those questions for you in just a moment, but before I do, a simple question. What's it worth to you to have the power to cause almost instant sexual attraction in your wife? Would it be worth $1 a day to you to know you'll never have to suffer again in quiet misery? Picture the moment when your wife starts pursuing you, offering herself willingly to you. When you make her erotic energy rise, she'll meet you at the door, scantily clad, ready to kiss you till you're moaning and about to explode. She'll be happier with every aspect of you and your relationship. You know, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And when mama drops to her knees halfway up the stairs as she's dragging you to the bedroom, you'll know you've made serious progress. You'll multiply the intimacy and have almost a supernatural power that allows you to understand your woman and trigger her sexual desire easily, whenever and however you want. Meaning, you can't fail. Not to mention being the envy of all your friends, you'll know something very exclusive and have the type of relationship they can only dream of. Wouldn't that feel awesome? When you go through this system and do what it says, you'll be able to instantly know exactly what your wife wants from you. You'll know which key fits in the tumbler to unlock her attraction. Even if the sex you have now is enough for her, with the mind-blowing orgasms you're about to give her, she's going to want even more sex from you. There is nothing else like Revive Her Drive because this is the only online, self-paced, discreet solution devoted to spicing up your marriage. If you're having sex only a couple of times a month or less, your relationship may be suffering. So I ask you, how much is it worth to feel like her superhero? To have the ability to completely satisfy your woman, to have her crave you, to bring back the sizzle in your relationship and have the best sex you've ever had? Susan and Tim want to transform the sex lives of as many men as possible and have you experience the same rewards that they and thousands of other men have by simply being willing to listen and apply this to your personal benefit. So here's what you need to ask yourself. How much would your divorce cost you? How much would an affair cost you? A friend of mine's dad just blew over $40,000 on his midlife crisis. Young hotties, deluxe hotel suites, fancy trips. And then his wife found out. Oof, now he's suffering the pain of a horrific divorce. If you're considering having an affair or getting a divorce, it is imperative that you buy Revive Her Drive before you do something you regret.
I'm just out of a long-term relationship. If my partner would have implemented these items, we may have had a chance.
And how much would a therapist cost you? Do you think your marriage counselor will refund your $5,000 if you don't either triple the amount of sex with your wife in the next month? Even if you could take back all those hours spent talking, would they give you back your money if you and your wife don't have better, hotter, more uninhibited sex after all that therapy? Can you even find a marriage counselor who knows what hot sex is like? Or how to show you ways to lead your wife to her sensual awakening? In order to get her back to how it was when you first met, before you can take her into new heights of passionate lovemaking, you have to reawaken her to her sensual self. Literally help her feel her body sensations again. Susan will show you how to do that even if she won't let you get within 3 feet right now. If these past years have been frustrating or even depressing, know that it is in your power to turn things around. No one wants to be rejected by their life partner. A big reason why affairs are so prevalent and what makes vacation sex hot is because it's easier to introduce new sexual ideas into an affair or on vacation outside your regular routine than it is in your marriage, unless you are willing to take the lead to grow your sex life. When your wife's complacency trumps your own needs, you end up limiting your sexual desires to ways she allows. The person with the lowest libido controls the sex, unless you know what Susan knows. When you can't try any sexually novel ideas for fear of her disapproval, the boredom that results also contributes to low desire in both parties. When your own desire gets suppressed by boredom and disapproval, it artificially holds you back from taking action. You see this vicious circle? We have the fantasy that we have the choice between being anxious and unhappy or not, but we don't. You either do something new or face the problems that get worse from not facing it. You either do things you've never done in your sexuality, or you lose the possibility for erotic experiences in the future. But how do you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and take this turnaround on? Let Susan help you. The secret that separates successful people from unsuccessful people is a step-by-step system that works and someone who's willing to walk them through it. And Susan Bratton is committed to your success. Revive or Drive consists of a series of sizzling audiobooks and riveting ebooks containing all the breakthrough information that men absolutely need to know.
I can honestly say so far, the info is shocking for a man. I mean, this stuff needs to be taught to us while we're young. These are very critical responses and governing principles that I just did not know about.
The ebooks are short, easy to read online, or print at home. The more you listen, the more motivated you get. Your membership gives you unlimited downloads of all the material on all your computers, smartphones, and e-readers everywhere you want copies. There are 3 sections to the program. Section 1 includes the Fast Start Guide, which tells you exactly what to do. Plus, you get stories that show you how other guys took care of business. In Section 2, you learn how the 4 elements of revival work together to fast-track you two back into the sack. Section 3 includes the Seduction Summit and a series of special solutions for problem areas. A dozen hand-picked experts become your personal sex therapists. Our experts are unique. Instead of paying them $175 an hour to fix your whole marriage, and unlike typical therapists who often charge you week after week for years, our experts tell you immediately how to get her to respond to you tonight. Susan persuaded these specialists to show you how to get your woman to be wildly passionate with you tonight and for the rest of your lives. You also get a series of audiobooks that target specific pain points. 21 deadly mistakes men in relationship make that destroy her arousal. Overcoming her resistance issues. How to build trust and get her to surrender to her sexuality. Seductive sexuality techniques that work for wives. How to sustain marital passion. The fear of missing out and what you don't know that you will very soon. These anthologies will prevent you from snapping back to your old and unproductive behaviors. Some men ask, what will appear on the credit card statement? Personal Life Media is what's on your credit card, but if you need to send us a check, we can arrange that too. And we take PayPal, and nothing is mailed to you. Everything can be accessed online with your login and password if you want to leave no trace while you're customizing your plan of revival. Even if you only listen on your way to work, the results you achieve will be mind-blowing. Continuous education and training are vital to success in any endeavor, including marriage. And wow, you will feel so good when you get your certificate of appreciation from Susan. And aside from reducing boredom, sexual boredom, both generally and sexually, this program helps develop your strength to love. Marriage can fulfill rather than frustrate your sexual potential. You can get back to being her hero, her lover, not just a roommate. How much is this step-by-step system and Susan's commitment to your success worth to you if it can help you to get your wife to be passionately intimate with you? Or how to show you ways to lead your wife to her sensual awakening? I want you to know that the value of the 3-part program for Revive Her Drive, if purchased separately, is $529. That's the 5 core ebooks for $135, the 12 Seduction Summit audiobooks and ebook training manuals for $297, the 6 solution anthologies, those special pain point books, for $97, which is a total value of $529. Is a healthy, vibrant, energetic, sexual relationship with the woman you love worth $500 to you? Of course it is. But we understand the importance of having a complete and ongoing continuing education and training, and therefore the 3-part program is not available for individual purchase. You will only have access to this powerful training material designed to repair your woman's sex drive by registering for the Revive Her Drive membership. Don't be the lonely man by the fire who says, "First give me some heat and then I'll give you some wood." That's not gonna work, is it? You can't put a price on knowing that you will never have to feel the sting of rejection again, because you will know she is loving your new lovemaking skills. But Susan has put a price on this program. And luckily, as a part of the release of this new instant access program, it's lower than you could ever imagine. Normally, the total cost to enroll in the Revive Her Drive membership program is, boom, a one-time membership fee of just $197. But Susan is going to make you a special one-time offer to get your wife to be passionately intimate with you. When you walk in the room, you'll see her eyes light up again like when you were first dating. And much of this will happen almost immediately because you will know how to open her, awaken her, the way a woman aches to be opened by a man. Imagine how horny you're going to get when she calls you at work. "Honey, thank you so much for giving it to me so good last night." Or she texts you a photo of herself in a garter, stockings, and a corset from a dressing room and says, "Can I buy this lingerie, sweetie?"
I think the biggest changes so far, after listening just once through Revive Her Drive, firstly, I'm not stressed out anymore. I'm not mad at my wife. I've stopped looking at a hopeless future, and I'm also not feeling. I stopped feeling so desperate, which is definitely a change my wife has picked up on, as subtle as that is. And we've also been on some really nice dates together recently. She actually took me lingerie shopping tonight for some fun outfits for the night, shall we say.
Once she's finally so filled up with love and orgasmic satisfaction, she will actually want to lick you like a lollipop. You will only have access to this powerful training material designed to repair your woman's sex drive by registering right now for the Revive Her Drive membership. Click the button now to lock in this special offer. Of course, you could choose to continue on the road you're on right now, but what does it cost you emotionally to continue to be untouched, your advances rejected? How many hours of productive time have you lost when you could be kicking butt, but you just don't care because you feel like crap? I know that's not what you want, and it doesn't need to happen because you can have her lust for you again with an impatience, with a hunger, with ardor that gets steamier by the night. So let's make this an easy decision, okay? Susan and Tim's mission is to replace rejection with connection and ever-increasing bliss. And above all, fire up a hot, blazing sex life with the one you love most. It's time to inject the simple pleasures of French kissing and blowjobs back into your daily existence. For the guys who have successfully turned their wives back on, they said they would have paid 10 times the amount. Because when you think about it, there is simply nothing more valuable than going through life knowing that you're the kind of guy who has sex with his wife whenever you want. I could go on for days sharing guys' turnaround success stories. 300% more sex. The first time in 11 months. Her first orgasm. You can't put a price on knowing that you'll never have to feel the sting of rejection again, because you will know she is loving your new lovemaking skills. But Susan has put a price on this program. And luckily, as a part of this release of this new instant access program, it's lower than you could ever imagine. Susan wants the first 500 men who take action right now and get this. And to thank you for all the time you've given me today to thoroughly vet the system. Because you're still here right now, we'll give you a one-time offer. You can own Revive Her Drive today for just $97. And you can have it for half off what everyone else has to pay. Save half off. Keep $100 in your pocket by purchasing now. But what guarantees do you have in case Revive Her Drive does not work for you? I know this program will unconditionally change your sex life forever. Sexual conflict in marriage is not just inevitable, it's important. Both partners' sexual maturation is at stake. Your conflicts might look right now like they're about whose limits of sexual development will control the relationship. In your case, her limits are controlling you. What's really happening, if you think about it, is that this friction is expanding you. If either partner's style dominates the sexual relationship, you both lose because you both stop growing. If you want to keep intimacy and sexual desire alive as you stay together longer, get started right now by ordering at this one-time special rate. Remember, Susan guarantees you will either triple the amount of sex with your wife in the next month, or you'll have better, hotter, more uninhibited sex with your wife, even if the frequency stays the same. We stand behind all of our solutions. For now, click here to register and get immediate access to Revive Her Drive. Over the course of the next 60 days, that's going to break down to a little more than $1 a day. You're well on your way already, just having listened to this presentation. Remember, you've both been going without for far too long. And if you don't take action, she may even be forced to find a man who will lead her to her sexual potential, to take her pleasure with someone else. Consider this instead. What happens when the old pattern repeats and your next wife stops sleeping with you? Click the button and fix these problems now before it's too late. So, if you want this, claim your copy. Order today, then take up to 60 days to make sure you're satisfied with your woman's responsiveness. It's as simple as that. After you click the button, you'll have a trusted friend in Susan who will give you secrets you didn't know existed. You don't get away with helping thousands of men for years. You don't get the kind of success stories you saw today unless you've got something extremely powerful and extremely effective to share. And that's what you're getting ready to access right now. Because it's not shipped to you physically, you truly will have access in just minutes, even seconds, depending on how fast you fill out the form on the next page. No waiting for the postman. No embarrassing package showing up on your kitchen table. Just instant, discreet access. The solution that will change your life. Right now, you have a choice to make. Thousands are watching this video and only a few will get fast mover access to this program. You can finally get back to those days where you both enjoyed great sex frequently and return to the amazing passion you both experienced when you first met. The results come fast too. In fact, many who have tried this system report that they see a noticeable difference in their wives the next day. This system is designed to give you quick results because Susan wants you to have an immediate response from your wife so you know you still have a fighting chance. So you can either continue on with your life how it was before you got here and found this page, going weeks, months, even years without getting laid. Or you can take the second path. You can click the button below this video right now and gain access to the Revive Her Drive program, the most powerful seduction technology ever devised for married couples. The choice is yours. I obviously can't make it for you, but I believe everything happens for a reason, and it is no accident that you are here right now watching this video. So go ahead and at least give Revive Her Drive a try. You're guaranteed to get what you want. Pussy power! And feel desired and confident and full of a zest for life. Go ahead right now and click the button below the video and quickly, easily fill out the secure 128-bit SSL encrypted form on the next page. In just a few hours from now, you'll look back on this moment as literally one of the major turning points in your life. The moment where everything changed. Never again will you have to be afraid to initiate sex because she will welcome you with open arms and open legs. Never again will you feel gut-punched by neediness. Your wife will be more friendly, more affectionate, more in love with you than ever. Right now, everything changes for you. And when you do have hot sex with your wife again, send Susan an email. Nothing makes her happier than knowing about the success of her customers. Plus, if you act now before this presentation ends, I'll make this even more of a no-brainer and throw in a one-of-a-kind super bonus worth more than $190. 2 exclusive teleseminars valued at $97 each. Telesummit number 1 is called The Fast Path to Pleasure, How to Get What You Need Sexually. Telesummit number 2, Fast Path to Passion, How to Apply Revive Her Drive to Your Specific Situation. You think you have it bad? Listen to how she solves even the most crazy sex life situations. There's no time to waste. We need to get you experiencing the type of sex life you both deserve. I don't want you to be concerned or confused on where to begin or feel like your situation is different. Remember, you are not alone. There are millions of men just like you.
You know, it's been good for the past 2 weeks. I have had sex with her, attaining amazing orgasms. Millions of men in the entire world, they're suffering with this problem and, have no single idea what the heck is going on. I must say, I've seen the results. Please continue with this important work. It's helped me. It's going to help millions of others.
And together, we can revive your sex life. That brings your total value to well over $400. Yet today, if you act now, it's all yours for just one payment of $97. Thank you so much for watching this presentation. And Susan looks forward to sending you your access details to the Revive Her Drive online training program. Click the button below now to get inside. Ready to turn your woman into a saucy little temptress who wants to stay in all night and make love? A month from now, your gal will be so grateful you made this decision right now to move forward and take control of your sex life. Strap in, babe. You're about to experience panties swinging from the ceiling fan kind of sex. Woo! I have to warn you, when you revive her drive, she could become an insatiable nympho. She'll be hungry for you because you made her that way. So stock up on little blue pills and a vat of lube for all the sensual stroking you're about to give and receive. Imagine how beautiful she's going to be lying there, waiting for you to take her on her next erotic pleasure ride. Ready for the best sex of your life as often as you want with the woman you love? See you inside.